Imagine a narrow stretch of water, a slender thread in the vast tapestry of our oceans. A waterway so vital that its closure, even for a short period, could send immediate and powerful shockwaves through the global economy, impacting everything from energy prices to international trade. This is the Strait of Hormuz, a critical artery in the world's economic system. It is through this narrow passage that about 1/5 of the world's oil supply navigates daily, along with a significant share of the globe's liquefied natural gas, all flowing steadily every single day. It's the lifeblood that sustains industries, fuels transportation networks, and powers economies worldwide. Yet its stability, its continued operation, is always in question, always under a watchful eye. The strait acts as a barometer, reflecting the global economic health and stability, and stands as a potent symbol of our deeply interconnected global energy system. Supertankers, some of the largest ships ever conceived and built by humankind, pass through daily, a constant stream, underscoring our profound dependence, our reliance, on this critical choke point. Any disruption, whether political in nature, a military action, or even accidental and unforeseen incident, has immediate and far-reaching consequences that ripple across the globe. World leaders, military strategists, and economic planners constantly monitor the Strait of Hormuz, knowing full well that the stakes involved are truly enormous, with global implications. For centuries, control over this vital passage has translated directly into leverage over global trade routes and economic power. Today, the daily, often uneventful passage of these massive tankers represents a quiet, ongoing victory for international cooperation and stability. But the ever-present threat of conflict, of disruption, always looms just beneath the surface. The Strait of Hormuz, a place where power, vulnerability, and the very essence of global stability all converge in a single, strategically vital waterway. Let's pinpoint a location of immense strategic importance. Where is this critical choke point located on the global stage? We're talking about a place that holds significant sway over international trade and energy security. The Strait of Hormuz serves as a vital link, connecting the resource-rich Persian Gulf, a major hub of oil production and maritime activity, to the Gulf of Oman, providing access to the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean and beyond. It's a crucial maritime artery. This strategic waterway is wedged between Iran to the north, a nation with a significant coastline along the Persian Gulf, and Oman's Muzandam Peninsula to the south, a region known for its rugged terrain and strategic location overlooking this vital strait. At its narrowest point, the shipping lane is remarkably constricted, measuring just 2 miles wide, in each direction, creating a highly regulated and closely monitored environment for maritime traffic. This creates a natural bottleneck, particularly challenging for the massive vessels, including supertankers, that navigate these waters daily. This is not just any sea passage. This is the only viable maritime route. From the Persian Gulf, a hub of energy production, to the open ocean, connecting global markets and economies. This makes it absolutely essential for oil-exporting nations in the region, as their economic lifeline depends on the unhindered passage through this strait. Countries like Saudi Arabia, a global leader in oil production, the UAE with its bustling ports and significant petroleum infrastructure, Qatar, a major exporter of liquefied natural gas, Kuwait, with its substantial oil reserves, and Iraq, all rely heavily on this waterway for their economic prosperity. Iran, with its extensive northern coastline along the strait, both actively uses the strait for its own exports and wields considerable influence over its security and stability. The close proximity of these often rival nations, coupled with the immense value of the oil and gas cargo that transits through it, makes this a uniquely volatile and sensitive spot on the globe, a potential flashpoint for geopolitical tensions. It's a region where the interests of global powers frequently collide, as nations strive to protect their energy supplies and maintain stability in this critical area. Despite its relatively small geographic space, the Strait of Hormuz has an outsized impact on all our lives, influencing global oil prices and ultimately, the cost of energy we all consume. The Strait of Hormuz is the world's most important oil choke point. Every day, about 21 million barrels of petroleum, over 20% of global consumption, pass through. This fuels economies from Asia to Europe and the US, powering industries, transportation, and manufacturing. Major Asian economies like China, India, and Japan depend on this route, making its security a top priority. There are few alternatives. Pipelines can only carry a fraction of the oil. Any disruption here sends oil prices soaring and threatens global economic stability. A single point of failure, one that traders and governments watch with anxiety. The Strait of Hormuz is truly the jugular vein of the global economy. The Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway of immense strategic importance. It is also a geopolitical flashpoint, a region where the interests of multiple nations collide. Iran, with its strategic coastline along the northern side of the strait, sees the strait as leverage, a vital artery it can control. And it has, on numerous occasions, threatened to disrupt shipping in response to international pressure and economic sanctions imposed by the West. Iran's Revolutionary Guard, or IRGC, frequently uses fast boats, sophisticated missiles, and naval mines to create a significant risk for commercial vessels navigating these waters. The U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, with its headquarters based nearby in Bahrain, constantly patrols the area, maintaining a strong presence to ensure freedom of navigation for all. This creates a tense and volatile environment, where hostile navies frequently operate in close quarters, often within visual range of each other, significantly raising the risk of miscalculation or accidental escalation. Recent years have witnessed a series of alarming incidents, including tankers being attacked, military drones shot down, and commercial vessels seized. Each incident immediately spiking global oil prices and further escalating already strained diplomatic tensions. For the sailors and tanker crews who traverse these dangerous waters, it's a constant state of heightened vigilance and high alert, knowing the potential dangers. The next crisis, the next confrontation, could be lurking just over the horizon. What if the Strait of Hormuz closed, even briefly? Oil prices would skyrocket, fueling inflation and crippling economies worldwide. Industries from airlines to agriculture would face shortages and soaring costs, pushing many nations toward recession. Alternative pipelines exist but can't handle the volume, leaving a massive shortfall. Despite the risks, the world remains dependent on this narrow waterway. Its security is a matter of global energy stability, demanding careful diplomacy and international cooperation. The safe passage of ships through Hormuz is essential to the world's economic health.